I've been spending more time looking at what we can do to enforce the Constitution. And the reason is there's a real push to do a constitutional convention at the state level, which, if it succeeds, I believe will give them the capacity to tear up the Constitution, which, as much as the Constitution hasn't been enforced, I think is horribly dangerous. You know, it could be game over for...
I agree with you.
Right, for the United States.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is definitely a fear. It's a fear that I have as well, and I'm glad you mentioned it, actually. And it makes sense that they would want to do this, because what's happening on the global scale is we've been going through a revolution. It's a multifaceted revolution, obviously, but it's driven by the internet and computing, of course. It's driven by globalization, transnational power, and it's driven by theft of trillions of dollars of money. So all of these things are going on. 9/11 was a manifestation of that revolution. It wasn't the only part of it, but 9/11 happened, in my view, in part because the United States got to a point, the power structure decided that they had to make it very obvious to the public that this is no longer the old Republican democratic institution that you grew up believing. This is now a national security apparatus, and they're out in the open about it. It had been evolving along those lines for a long, long time. So 9/11 was the coming out party, like a debutante. But this is the coming out party of the national security state. But that's not the final stage. 9/11 by no means was the final stage. So this is an ongoing thing. And I agree with you. One of the things that will have to happen, according to their agenda, is that the formal Constitution will have to just be discarded and redone. It's got to be done. Right. And from their point of view, it's got to be done to promote corporate interests. The whole idea of neoliberalism versus liberalism, it's a simple point that I've often thought about. Liberalism, classical liberalism, is, to me, a great thing. It's the idea of dignity of the human individual and human freedom. Neoliberalism, or new liberalism, what's that? It's about freedom for transnational corporate power and financial power. That's what the neoliberalism is. It is a code word for globalization. Just like neoconservatism is not the same as classical conservatism. Classical conservatism are things that were designed to conserve the republic. Neoconservatism is about conserving the empire. So neoconservatism and neoliberalism are two sides of the same coin. And what they will ultimately have to require is a neo-constitution. Neo-America. We're moving in that direction. It's inevitable that they're going to try, and our job is to stop them.